Hi, today I'm showing you how to use a Canva template and brand it and use it for your own. If you're in a hurry and you don't want to create something from scratch, which is my case most of the time, I like to find a great template and then copy it and change some things around and make it pretty on my own. So this is what we're doing. I already have placeholder text to create this template, so make sure that you have that information ready before you start. I also have the right size for Instagram saved that I use each time I start a new carousel or a static graphic post. So that's what I have here. And the first thing I'm going to do is click File and make a copy. And then I'm going to go ahead and name this and so that I know which one I'm on. And I'm creating this one actually for my Virtual Pro Society community membership in school. So that's why you see the titles that I have. And I just want to go and copy something from ones I made earlier today, this text that I want to add so that I can keep up with which post it is. So this is number 5. So anyway, so here we have a blank slate. Let me just move this little booger out of the way. And then I'm going to click templates. Now I could start out by just simply typing in carousel, but that's just, I'm going to be scrolling forever trying to find things that, that fit what I'm looking for. Usually I have some sort of design or it depends on the text that I'm using. So I think today I just want to do minimalist to find something that, because I don't want a lot of background noise, what I call it, or a ton of graphics on it, because I really want my audience to pay attention to what the text says. So let me just scroll through here. And I am randomly picking something. I have not looked at these before I started today. And one thing I want to mention is don't be afraid to, like, if it's, if you're a virtual assistant or OBM or whatever, and you're looking for something, don't be afraid to grab one that maybe is like, where's this one that I just passed with, like body lotion, because you can totally change those backgrounds and make this one. In fact, if you pick something like this, the chances of another VA having that same one are slim, because they may just think, oh, well, that's for a spa or something. I can't use that. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and click this one and use it. So just don't pay attention to the visuals right now because we're going to change those. But like I said, I have some placeholder text. So I'm going to, and I kind of like this little problem text here. So I'm just going to, actually, no, I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to put in my placeholder text here. And then I have a bit more text for this slide. Now this one, because I'm doing a tutorial on this, is going to be kind of a shorter carousel. I typically do at least 6 slides, but this one's it's actually going to be 7, but I'm going to have some placeholders in here and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so we've got this first one, and I always like to choose my font on the first one and then just carry that through. And so this is one of my brand fonts, and I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to click on all pages, and it's going to change that. I do want this to be a little larger because to put more emphasis on this. And in case you're watching this and you don't know, you can also pull this to make text, but I just prefer to do it up here because I feel like I have more control. Pull that over. Okay. And I just realized I didn't copy a T there. Okay. So now that we have this, just realized I have the duplicate there. Okay. So I'm going to go, and I have some branded photos in here that I'm going to use for this for right now. Let's see here. I love this one, but nope, not gonna work. Huh, that's kind of fun. And what I'm gonna do Oh, it's already, the background is removed. So I'm just going, what I did is I used the same photo, and this template already had the background removed for the previous photo. So when you drag one in there, it's going to automatically do that. And then here, I'm just going to put my, here, let me make this a little larger so you can see what I'm doing. So that is my handle, and I love that little script. Normally I would change that, but today I think I'm going to leave that there because I kind of think that's cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate that page. And in case you don't know, on a carousel, Instagram will show your second slide sometimes first if someone has already hit your carousel once and maybe they scrolled past it. The second time it comes up in their feed, it's going to show the second slide first. So you always want that second slide to be able to stand on its own and to grab someone's attention. So I'm going to delete that one, and this is all that I want. I could, I think, to fill up this space, I might just do that. Yeah, I'm just going to do that for now. So there we go. So we have our second slide. Now for the slides 3 through 6, this is where the meat of my carousel is, where I'm giving my audience really valuable information. So normally those will look all the same. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to duplicate this slide, but I'm going to enlarge this notebook so that I've got more real estate to put text on. And then I want to make sure that's centered. And then I'm going to, I'm going to delete this little dubby here because all I want on these next 3 slides are text. So I'm giving them a prompt to complete based on what their services are. So, and I don't like the caps on that, so I'm taking that down, click that there, and I'm going to this because I don't like the bold, and I'm going to make this go left. And then they're just going to be responsible for using this to put in their information based on the prompt that I give them. So I'm just going to duplicate this so that I have 3 of them. And now I'm on my last slide, which is my CTA slide. And I usually, when I'm using a template, I look to see if there is another one that, like an ending one that they use, but this one didn't have one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this first slide, and I'm going to click the arrow and move it all the way to the bottom. So now this is my last slide. So I'm using that same formatting. I'm putting in the CTA text, and then, or if you don't have an actual call to action, if it's just something indicating to them something emphasized you want to tell them, there you go. And that is how I customize a carousel post using a template. Now let's go back to what that template started out. See, it started out like this, and look at this. How pretty is that? I hope this helps you. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel every time you have to create a graphic, because you can. I love how a lot of the templates are already like the formatting that they have, or, things that I just can't see past. And, using this just turned this into a really cute graphic, I think. Hope this helps. Thanks.